Awesome. Yay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning and this afternoon based on where you're located. I would love to know in the comment section, where are you tuning in from? Go ahead and just do a quick location and I would love to read them out. But thank you so much again for tuning in and being here with me. Again, I'm Shelly. I'm also known as Letters by Shells on social media. And my whole outlook and my whole perspective of why I started doing art was to spread love and positivity through art. So I'm also known as a hand lettering artist. And I remember when I first started hand lettering, I basically wanted to put my lettering on everything. So that's when I discovered using the silhouette machine about 4 years ago, and I was just blown away by the beauty of it and how many things that you can actually create using the machine itself. So I'll be talking about all of my tips and techniques using this program itself, and also understanding how to do different vinyl techniques. So I'm so excited. But thank you so much again for just being here with me. So I'm so happy to have teamed up with my friends over at Silhouette America, because we just have some, really cool things in store for y'all. So thank you so much. I have a few people tuning in from Texas, New Jersey. So awesome. Oh, and the Silhouette headquarters, thank you so much for being here and for the opportunity. Oh my goodness, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that information with me. So before we officially get started with everything, please do let me know if you have any specific questions about the program itself and understanding how to use a machine. Let me know. I would love to answer all the questions throughout the class. Okay, and yeah, so let's go ahead and switch over to my computer, showcasing the Silhouette Studio program itself, and understanding how to use a design area. So give me 1 second.
Shelly, we do have one question to start off. People want to know which machine you're using, if you're using the Cameo or the Portrait.
Oh yeah, great question. So I am using the Cameo 4 today. Yeah, I'm using the Cameo 4. I love it. I love how I think I just love the new design of it. Honestly, I was blown away when it first launched. So I'm so happy to have used the machine, explored it, and especially with the new software program as well. And along with that, so let me go ahead and quickly talk about the materials. So I'm going to be using this Silhouette Cameo 4 machine along with ORACAL vinyl and transfer tape. And then I also have some Basswood that I got from Michael's. And I just thought it was going to be a really fun fall project just to do on this. The design that we're going to be using today is a design that I created, and it's also available on the design or the library. McKenna, do you have the number code for the design?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I'll also put the link to the design.
Beautiful. Yay. So that's one option to get the design itself. I know when you first sign up using the Michael's platform, there was also a PNG and a JPEG option. So if you downloaded that way, I think that works as well. But yeah, let's go ahead, and that's the materials. If you have questions about the materials, do let me know as well. And let me show my computer. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second, everyone. I'm so sorry. I exited out of this screen sharing, I believe. Right, Felicia? I don't think I'm there anymore.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so I'm coming in. But yeah, in the meantime, if you have questions, please do let me know so I can answer them as I log into this. Okay. Am I able to screen share it still? Oh yeah, it looks like I am. Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that, everyone. I had this all ready to go, and then I did something. I knew that was gonna happen. So this is my screen. I have it in two different formats. I have the design that I brought in from the Silhouette library, along with bringing it into the just like the direct download of the image and bringing it into my computer. So honestly, any questions about bringing in any designs to the program itself? Give you all a minute to kind of see. If not, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show the example as if I were to bring in the design itself, what would be the necessary steps. So every time I bring in a design, I like to use a trace panel. So with the trace panel over here, you're able to select this trace area and basically hover over the entire design. I just feel like it really controls like the accuracy, and then if you're able to like resize it, it's not going to lose its actual like quality of the artwork itself. And then after I go ahead and select the area, I like to see if I need to increase my threshold just to make sure that every parts of the design is highlighted. And then afterwards, I'll just go ahead and hit the trace function right there. And then you'll see that now it's highlighted and like outlined in red. I'll go ahead and tap around the area just to remove the excess. So this is just going to be the original design, because all that I really need is the actual trace design right here. And I like to use this just because if I'm able to like resize it in any way, I just feel that the quality does remain the same. So the only thing about now understanding how to export this file into the program itself to cut the vinyl. So a couple of things that I want to actually go over for this function is there are about a couple of things. So I'm going to go ahead and show my camera again. Or actually, I don't think I'm able to, right, Felicia? I still have to like remain on the share screen option, right?
You would have to come off the share screen so that everyone can see the actual cutting machine.
Okay, got it. I'll just do that in a second. Thank you. Okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about one design first. So if I'm able to create this design, let's say that we wanted to create like a layering effect. How exactly do we go about doing that? So I'll go ahead and show that example. And if we still have time, I'll show another example using like multiple colors of vinyls and all that fun stuff. But for this example, when I do that layering vinyl, there's a couple of things. I want to make sure that I create these at the top right here using these little outlines. So we could use circles or squares. But when you go ahead and make these squares, you're able to now print the vinyl multiple times, and it's going to line up exactly, because those are going to be your guide that you need to layer the vinyl. So if you went ahead and created that square right there, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm using a Mac, so I'm going to Command C, copy it. And then I'm going to now Command F. So those are a few shortcuts that I like to use, just because when you do the Command F afterwards, you're able to now hold down your Shift button along with the arrow. And it basically copies exactly how you initially first drawed it. And like it doesn't, it's like at the same level itself. And the reason why I like using that is because if I'm able to just like copy it and repaste it, what would happen is it's not going to line up from the first square that I did initially. So that's one thing that I want to make sure that it's going to be the same for all the designs. So after you go ahead and do this squares, it should look something like this. Okay. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and now create that shadow effect. So think about this design itself as like one layer, and then I'm going to now create like an outline around it. So with the outline itself, we're actually going to go ahead and use this option right here, which is the offset panel. So the offset panel basically creates this like nice bubble around all the different elements here. So offset, I'm going to tap on offset again right there. Just give it some time. And as you can see that it just kind of creates like a nice, like, like bubble around the lettering itself. These are also like a good idea to do if you want to make like stickers for the future and kind of like create like that negative like white space area. So when I create that offset, you are able to, if you wanted to, you can like adjust the sizing of it, but I'm actually okay with this size as it is. So what I'm going to do is this, as you can see, when I created that offset, it did also create like a bunch of different offsets inside the different elements inside here as well. And you can cut that, but oftentimes it kind of gets lost because they are very tiny. So what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to keep my offset design and currently delete my actual design that I first initially traced. So when I go ahead and tap my initial design, I'm just going to Command C and just copy it and then just hit delete. So now you're just left with the offset outlines that was initially created. And this was just for me, honestly, I feel like it just becomes a little bit easier. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is highlight this entire design. And so highlight the entire design. And we're going to go ahead and just hit like right-hand click. And I'm actually going to release the compound path because now I want to go ahead and just delete these little negative areas inside. So I know this might like seem tedious, but I mean, it is kind of like worth it because oftentimes I'll kind of like lose the different elements. And sometimes if it doesn't line up 100%, these little pieces will make it super obvious. So I went ahead and deleted everything just like that. And now I'm going to highlight the entire section again. And I'm just going to go ahead and regroup them. So just Command G. So just grouping it. Because then when we did it earlier with the release like compound path, we kind of like broke it up into their own separate elements. So after now it becomes one huge group. Now we're just going to go ahead and hit Command F, which is the design that we initially had. So me doing the Command F function, it allows me to copy and paste it directly how it originally was. And so you can kind of see that there is no other like negative spaces in there anyways at this time. Okay, so the first initial cut that we're going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and use one of the wood, it's like the wood basswood rounds that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and create like a bigger design first, and then I'll see if we have time to do like other like smaller designs utilizing different colors. But as I get my ruler ready and everything, let me know if you have questions, or is there any questions, McKenna, that I can answer?
It looks like up to this point we don't have any questions, but people really like your tips so far, so you're doing awesome.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. So I want to be able to, I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share so that way I can kind of explain the whole process of like how I'm going to be cutting the vinyl and things like that. Okay, so I am back on the view. So I'm going to go ahead and spotlight me again. Or I can go ahead and go. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So with this design right here, so this was the initial design that I first created, basically having multiple vinyl colors around. This other one, the one that we're currently going to go ahead and do is this one. Basically, you'll see like the white outline behind it, and then the other color will be in front of it. And I just feel like it creates that nice like pop that you need. So you can choose like any color and it will have like that nice background that complements it. So we're first going to go ahead and do this one. So the reason why I wanted to go ahead and show you exactly what I'm doing is because I remember when I first started using this silhouette machine, I would basically get my designs in the program, but then I would always question, okay, now what's next? What do I do next? I don't understand how to get the design to like my actual item that I want to be pasted on. So for me, I don't know why. It might be like straightforward for a lot of people, but I had a really hard time understanding the sizing of it. How can I get the exact cut size in order to like match my actual item? Maybe I was just going too fast, but that was something that kind of like I just wasn't used to. So you'll see that if you have your design, your items that you want to place a vinyl on, what I like to do is this. Just like probably it seems like so self-explanatory, but I'll go ahead and get my ruler and just really measure it out exactly where I want the item to be placed at. Because if I go ahead and basically like measure out from like the very edge on both edges, you can see that my round's about 8 inches in width, but I kind of want it to be a lot smaller than that. So I'll kind of use my ruler and just kind of like estimate in terms of how much smaller do I want that to be. So I'm actually, just to be safe and make sure that all the designs will fit inside this wood panel right here, I'll make sure that it's going to be 6 inches in width. And then for the height itself, I'm going to go ahead and do, all right, I'm just going to make sure that it's at least like 6 by 8. And so oftentimes when I have a lot of different elements with the vinyl, it gets kind of confusing just because like there might be some elements that might be coming off to the side just because you notice that this wood panel is not super round. It just has like, it almost has like a teardrop shape to it. So I'll just be mindful of those and just kind of like measure out those little areas, make sure that it will fit. So it looks like as long as I stay within my 6 inches or even like smaller than that, it should stay within the wood panel right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to my screen share view.
Shelly, we have some people asking where you got the wood. Did you order it online or did you buy it in the store?
I bought it from Michael's. They do have it in stores. I did see them, but I placed the order online for the curbside pickup. Yeah, I've been doing that a lot lately. It's been, I don't know, it's like so convenient. You just go in your car and just wait outside. But yeah. The one that I'm using, the brand is called Walnut Hollow, if that helps. So now that we're back on the design space right here, so the first thing that I want to go ahead and cut is the actual outline, not the design itself. So I'm going to click on the vinyl or the vinyl design and delete it again. I know it kind of like seems back and forth, but I just wanted to kind of give you that explanation. Actually, before I do that, made a huge mistake almost. I need to actually highlight everything and then resize it. Then I'll go ahead and do I'll delete the components. So when I measured it out initially, I needed it to be about 6 inches in width and 8 inches in height. So because it's around 5 inches right here, you'll see that it's still past 8 inches. So I'm going to just accommodate the height size and just make it a little bit smaller like that. And because I love to save vinyl, in the past, I used to like do these like small designs right in the middle of the paper itself, like on the cutting mat, and then I would waste like a whole bunch of vinyl around it. So then now just move it to the very edge, and that way you know exactly how much vinyl you do need. So after I'm okay with the placement and how it looks, let me make sure. I'm like paranoid. I want to make sure that it's like the exact size before I cut it. I've done it in the past where I kind of just like overlooked it, and then after it was done, it's like, it doesn't fit. Oh my goodness. Actually, one more thing. I think I messed up again. Because of the top parts right here, the squares, I was highlighting that and that considered the height itself. I actually just need those as a guide. So I actually can make it a little bit bigger. I hope that made sense. So I'm gonna make about 7.5, awesome. And then just fix my squares. I'm trying to center it with the design itself. Okay, so now afterwards, the first cut that we're gonna go ahead and do is the outline. So for the outline, I thought it would be nice to do it the color white, and then the design itself either have like a yellow or a gold. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and delete the design and then just kind of head over to the last panel right here where it's like the cut settings and all the fun stuff for that. So the reason why I wanted to focus so much about like understanding the cut settings itself is because sometimes it could be like trial and error depending on what type of like vinyl brand you do have. There's been times that I haven't had like a good experience, or like the vinyl will cut, but when I peel the vinyl, it doesn't have like a really clean cut that I'm looking for. So with the Oracle vinyl itself, I mean, like, it's not super thick like if I was using like a glitter vinyl, but it has like a nice thickness to it. So for that, it does have like a preset setting right here, the vinyl silhouette Oracle. And I like to make a couple of adjustments just to make it easier for me as well. So for this depth, I'm just going to change it to the number 2. And then the force itself, I'm going to change it to 7. It's just because I've had good experience playing around with it, and that's just what I felt comfortable with. And then the last portion is, so oftentimes if you're cutting a bunch of like, like solid shapes, or shapes that are like just like normal, I noticed that you can put the speed at whichever number and it works awesome. However, if your element looks like mine and it just has like so much like going on, I noticed that when I turn it to speed 5, there might be times where like some vinyl kind of like might move around. So just to be safe, and just because like I've had past experiences, I like to put it at speed 1. So it does take a little bit longer to cut, but that way you can make sure that it's accurate and it's good to go. So I'll go ahead and make sure it's 1. So yeah, I think I'm all set with the cut settings itself. So make sure it's on cut, and then your vinyl, auto, and everything. So I don't know if this is too confusing, but you'll notice that I'm over here on this simple panel. There is another panel right here that you can use for your line option. So you'll notice that only one outline is highlighted here. I like to use this panel if I'm basically doing multiple different cuts for my cutting mat. So it typically would be more for like, if I wanted to cut stickers, if I wanted to basically make some stickers that were like kiss cut and like some die cut, I believe. So that's when I would utilize that. But I just like, it's a good feature to kind of understand. But yeah, so I'll go back to my simple tab and just make sure that everything is like hooked up and ready to go, and then you would hit send. But I'm actually going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that way I can show my desk view, kind of like explaining the whole process of that. Awesome. So with everything that I'm doing here, I need to make sure that, can you still hear me okay? Because I know I'm a little bit further down. Okay. I saw like one head nod, so I'm assuming it's good. So if I go ahead and use my cutting mat, this is like honestly a good ruler to see and use to make sure that whatever you place on here for the vinyl is going to match exactly the program that you're using as well. So I utilize that a lot. So this is really helpful if you are wanting to place multiple vinyl in different colors on the same mat. So with my first outline color, I already have this pre-cut, and I know that it's like within the width. So I'm just going to keep it. I'm not going to resize it because I could just do that afterwards. So I'm just going to place it directly on my mat itself. And just make sure that it lines up all the way. I'm going to redo this. And after like it's placed, just make sure again your design is not centered to over here where the vinyl is not on there. I've done that in the past and I'm like, what just happened? So after you have the vinyl stuck onto the mat itself, you just go ahead and line it up directly to your machine. And we're just going to go ahead and feed it in. So because my cuts are kind of like really loopy and has like a bunch of curves, it might be a little bit loud. So just bear with me with that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the send from my program and just send it off to my Cameo machine. And it's going to do all the magic that you can see. I always get so excited to kind of see exactly how everything is being cut. I think it's so fascinating. I before I got the vinyl, like, or before I had the Cameo machine, I thought about, I could do it by hand. I could just cut everything myself. And then I started that process and I realized, oh man, I cannot, I don't want to. So using the machine is really handy. Okay, I'm just reviewing the comments and I hope that, I hope it's not too noisy on your end. Is it noisy? Oh, good. Yay, yay. I'm just don't mind me, I'm just like reading the comments over here. It's so beautiful. Seeing everything. So if you can still hear me, I would love to know for the top vinyl, what color should I choose? I have gold, green, yellow, black, a copper color, and also coral. So I would love to see if there's like a request. I would love to pick one of those. Copper, copper. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I will do copper. I didn't discover copper till this year, and I was like, it's beautiful. My goodness. So I hope it's copper. What if it's like not copper? I'll show you in the screen in a bit. This is the copper color. This is copper, right? Okay. It's bronze. Oh man. I don't know. For some reason I thought it was copper. Maybe I read it wrong. It doesn't say anything. Okay, just I hope that's still okay though, the bronze color. Okay, cool. So the machine is almost done, I promise. And then we'll kind of see the beauty of it. This is so cool.
Hey, Shelly.
Yeah.
I just asked a question here, but I just want to know if you have any tips for like being creative when you're feeling stuck or maybe something's not working perfectly.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome question. Yeah, and so sorry, I didn't realize how loud the cutting was going to be. But no, that's such a good question because I feel like as an artist, there are so many things that spark, inspiration, but then there's also multiple times that I get kind of like lost in terms of like what I want to do that day, or if I actually feel motivated creating something. So what kind of helps me feel that inspiration again is most likely just like going on a walk, like a simple walk outside, going to like a local coffee shop and just trying new coffee. I'm like a total coffee lover, so if that's not your thing, other inspiration can be from ice cream. I love ice cream. But those simple things, I just feel that kind of like helps me recollect my thoughts and my mind. So oftentimes when I do those, I like to do it alone and not just like go with my fiance. He gets so sad, by the way, but just kind of like doing it for myself. Oftentimes I'll go to like a local park. If like if there's just like nobody there, and I'll just like sketch some things and just kind of like feel inspired by the colors around me. But yeah, no, that's such a good question. I know it's like kind of random from like what other people may respond. If that honestly all that does not work for me, what I do also is I actually explore a new craft and like a new medium I haven't done before. So like let's say if I wanted to experiment with a vinyl technique, I'll do something completely that I thought was impossible, but I had like this imagination about it, and I'll try to see if I can capture that onto the vinyl pieces. Yeah.
That's a good tip. I like that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much, Sarah. It was Sarah, right? Or is
Yeah.
it McKenna?
Yeah, it's Sarah. And Cricket also asked, how long have you been doing this?
Oh yeah. I started doing everything about 5 years ago, which I know wasn't a long time ago. So I don't know if you want to go ahead and do my face view again, Felicia. I'll go ahead and kind of like do like a quick fun fact. Yay. Okay. So, I mean, I started my whole art journey about 5 years ago. I did like arts and craft before, but I just kind of like didn't really pursue or like know what to do with it. I just thought it was something for fun. But I actually enjoy doing art just because I actually like found this new love for it again 5 years ago when I was working full time at my insurance job. So when I was working there, I only thought about work, and I would do all the overtime hours and just talk about work all the time, even after I got home. And my fiance would always tell me that I'm always talking about work and I should talk about other things in life. And I was so offended. I was like, what do you mean? Work is exciting. But I think that's something that I was trying to tell myself. So during that time, I was trying to think, okay, if I had a chance to not think about work so much, what do I do afterwards? So then I started doing like arts and crafts, and then I ran into like positive quotes. I wanted to see if I can write my own positive messages, and I actually came across doing calligraphy just because I was looking up like positive like affirmations and saw different like typography styles and fonts, and I was like, wow, this is like so pretty, but I didn't realize that people actually could create their own hand lettering styles. So that's kind of like what sparked that new interest that I never knew I was going to get into. I always thought calligraphy was so hard and no one could actually do it. I gave up so many times starting the process, but I actually like fell in love with the whole exploration part, understanding how to use a different medium that I never thought was possible. So I used to look at art stores and think, oh my gosh, it's so intimidating. I'm just going to go in there really fast and just get things that I know how to use and like not try to experiment with anything else. But after really exploring art and seeing how much joy it did bring me in life, I realized that there is the beauty about art is that you can try out different mediums and understand and kind of just like figure it out for yourself. And that's like the beauty of it. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started with my art journey. After I started doing art and just really had a good time with it, I actually left my full-time job and I was like, I'm going to pursue art full-time. Thought that was crazy, but I'm here now and I'm still doing it. So but yeah, that's kind of like my quick journey of how I got started. But no, thank you so much, Cricket, for asking. So appreciate it. So yeah, and it looks like our vinyl machine is done cutting. Yay. So I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's kind of like, I don't think you can actually see it. I'll go ahead and cut off the excess. So after I cut my vinyls, I like to always save the excess no matter how small it is. So I'll go ahead and cut it off. In the meantime, are there any questions that I could for sure answer? Okay.
What are your tips for getting started with vinyl?
Tips. I think when I first got this machine, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much I'm gonna do with it, but I was also really intimidated with it. I honestly feel that a simple thing that you could do is honestly going to the silhouette library and just choosing a design that's already there. Didn't know that it even existed when I first got the program. I wasn't like, I guess I didn't understand how to use it. So if you just have like one simple design, go ahead and cut that one design. So right now this design is a little bit more intricate, but if you cut like one shape or like one design on from the library, and then go ahead and use multiple different vinyls that you have or that you've purchased, and you can kind of understand the different cut settings and kind of see like exactly what settings work with which vinyls. And then after you have all these beautiful cut vinyls, go ahead and put it on everything. Oh my gosh, I put all my vinyls on every mug that I owned, and I just kept decorating the home. I'm actually gonna go ahead. I'm having a hard time. I don't know if you have this hard time too, picking the vinyl. So I like to use my picker and just kind of have it guide me. Because honestly, sometimes I'm just trying to pick at it for the longest time. So you'll go ahead and see that now it's all ready to go. So this is what I mean about having it like a really clean cut. I like to peel off my vinyl basically just like in one shot, and by having the right cut settings can help me peel off the vinyl very like more easily. So there's that initial cut. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my program so I can show you the other version of the cut. Okay, so now that we're back onto the main screen itself, I'm gonna go ahead and do, either you can do Command Z because you just deleted the initial design, or you can do the Command F again. So if I did Command Z, okay, I have to do Command Z, give me 1 second. There's that, my designs right there. And all I'm gonna go ahead and do is just tap on the outline itself and then hit delete. And that way you just have like the actual design and no longer the outline. And with this, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to resize it or move these boxes around because this is exactly the dimensions that I need in order for it to fit perfectly on top of the outline. So with this, because I'm using the same type of vinyl, it's still going to be the exact same cut settings. So I'll go ahead and make sure it's on the cut feature right there. And then auto cut, action for cut, auto blade is good to go. And then just your depth 2 being force being 7 and speed 1. So I know it kind of took some time, so bear with me again with that. So before I send it over, I'm going to exit out of my screen sharing option and go back to my desk view and get the, I was corrected, it's a bronze color, but I hope it's still pretty. It's like perfect for fall. The reason why I wanted to explore using the wood sign like this right here is because I never actually placed vinyl on top of it, but I thought it would be perfect for this project just because, or like this workshop, because it's like fall season now, and I just feel like it adds like just like a nice decor to your home or your office. So after that's good to go. So again, I'm kind of lazy, so I'm not going to recut this already because I got this one from Michael's as well. It was already the pre-cut 12 by 12 size. So I'm just going to leave that as is. And then just kind of feed it back into my feed again. And then just hit send on my program, and it's going to do the magic again.
Shelly, we have a question about working with wood. So do you have any tips for working with the wood? Do you prep it before in any way by putting a thin, clear sheet down or anything like that?
Oh yeah, no, that's a good question. Because the vinyl that I'm using right now, it is like a permanent vinyl. So that sticks on very nicely to the wood surface. It would depend what type of wood surface that you have. This one specifically, it's like nice and smooth. So because there's not a lot of like divots inside the wood itself, the vinyl should stick on very nicely. But I've worked with wood where the wood surface was uneven. So oftentimes with those uneven surfaces, there's two things that you can do. Either you can paint it over with acrylic paint to kind of create like a nice like texture for the vinyl to stick on. Or what I've done in the past, I basically used my vinyl and I made a stencil out of it. So I used the exact shape and then I just basically made I kept the negative basically, and then I use that as a stencil and I used acrylic paint and painted on top of that, directly onto the wood surface. I hope that kind of makes sense. If you have more specific questions about that, I have like a video that I can show you. Just feel free to reach out to me on Instagram and I can send you over that link. But yeah, that's kind of like two ways to go about it. But other than that, I try to find wood that has like a really nice surface to it just because it allows your vinyl to stick on so much better for those reasons.
Perfect. We have one more question for right now. Berenice asked if you can leave this outside or if you have to keep it inside.
Oh yeah, good question. You can leave it outside because like I've used this like similar type vinyl on like my car, for example. I just feel that over time it might get ruined only because the water will be absorbed by the wood itself. So I think if you want to put it like outside your front porch or something, it works perfectly. But maybe like if that day it has like a lot of like mist or like rain, just take it back inside for the time being. But yeah, I think that is it. But then also if you really wanted to, I feel like you can apply like a clear coating on top of this directly, and that could basically like survive all conditions. It's just that if there is like a section, the wood itself might absorb the extra water. No, such great questions. I'm so happy that you're asking. I so appreciate it. But other than that, though, if you I would love to know in the chat box as well. Can you go ahead and share with me current project that you're working on for vinyl, or maybe what are some projects that you've been wanting to start but just like so afraid to start? Okay. I'm reading the chat box as well, so I hope you can still hear me. Megan, yes, you can buy it at Michael's. It's the Walnut Hollow brand. And I know in the, oh, I don't think you see the link, but yeah, it's on the wall. It's a Walnut Hollow brand. Yeah, and Sarah just shared the link with it. And Deanna, what I do now full time is I do art. So I do art for like custom clients and also work with different brands to do like content creation of my art. And I also now teach art as well. So I teach like hand lettering and using like the, other devices and other mediums. But yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. But yeah, thank you so much for asking. So the wood size, Megan, it comes in three sizes. The one that I currently going to use for the example is the large size, but I also have other examples like I have like, this is like a medium size, or I'm sorry, this is like a small, this is a medium. So they kind of like vary in different like shapes, and this is like this is also the medium. And then this is like the large one. Yeah, of course. So Sarah, I love your response. The Halloween costume so fun. Oh yeah. No, I totally get that. When I first got my machine, a lot of family members told me you can make so many costumes. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know how to even cut one thing from it. So it's so neat that it's a machine itself. It's so versatile and you can have it do so many different things to it. Working on t-shirts, and I want to make a wooden sign with vinyl. Oh, I love that, Judy. So beautiful. Judy, for your t-shirts, are you going to be using HTV vinyl or yeah, heat transfer vinyl? So it's almost done, so just bear with me a few bits. Okay, cool, Judy, that's awesome. One thing about HTV vinyl, so it's heat transfer vinyl that you can still use a Cameo machine to cut. But one thing I didn't realize when I first used it was I didn't know you had to mirror the design. So I've cut so many of my designs the wrong way. I remember, I don't know what was going on with me. I think I just wasn't remembering. I cut after the fourth time. I was like, oh my goodness, I did it again. That was just so funny. But HTV, I just feel like I just don't work with it every day, so I tend to forget those little things with it. Oh, very beautiful. So all this dust is coming from the wood itself, so don't mind that. So while I have this cutting, I'm gonna actually get my transfer tape ready. So the transfer tape, I'm just gonna cut it to size. It's like double check all the time. I feel that if transfer tape is a little bit bigger, it's really okay. Just to have that ready. Transfer tape right there. So for this one, we just need wood transfer tape. But also, I wanted to ask you all. I don't know what it is, but I feel that when it's hotter, the transfer tape tends to stick more. Because then I was trying to do some projects during the week, and it got so cold in Southern California, and I was actually surprised that some days it was stickier. But I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I'm curious. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go out of this and just export this. So the reason why I wanted to show the beauty of using the vinyl and understanding how to layer them is just because I feel like it creates like a really nice finish to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and before I do anything, I'm gonna make sure I stick the clear thing back on because I've dropped this so many times and I fell on the carpet. I'm like, oh no. I don't know if you've done that before. So again, I'm just gonna cut my excess off just to make sure it's all good to go. So I know that the time itself, it looks like we might only have time to do this project, but I'll kind of go ahead and give like a quick explanation if you want to use multiple colors. So the technique that we did here is basically showing how to layer this design on top of the outline design. That works the same way. Let's say if I wanted these like leaves to be different colors, you would just basically cut the vinyl multiple times to keep that exact same shape. So I know that if you do that, like there are certain sections that vinyl might be lost. So what I like to do is like cut off the excess before you cut everything off if you want to save some vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this vinyl right here. And just for this one, because it has a more intricate design, just be a little bit more gentle with it, because you want to make sure that everything comes off smoothly and nothing actually sticks. You can see right there, like that. So that's the design itself. So just gonna go ahead and get my picker and just kind of like peel everything out. And just kind of like start from there. And I like to use my finger so I can just quickly do this. When it comes out to like weeding out these little inner parts, I'll go ahead and like have one of them like kind of like centering towards the middle and just kind of like tap the excess with another piece of vinyl. It works most of the time, but sometimes of course vinyl just gets stuck. And let's go ahead and remove the rest. So it really just depends. Like so there was like depending on like how intricate your design is, of course, like if I didn't really have these little outlines, then my vinyl, I wouldn't have to weed a lot of things out. But I don't know if like some of you think this is like a really tedious process. This is like one of like my favorite parts. Don't know why. I like enjoy doing it. Like it's like so cool and like seeing them all come off. Okay, and 2 more items and we're ready to go. As you can see, I'm not really gentle with the vinyl. I'm just kind of like peeling things off so quickly. Just like that. I have to stick to my finger. So that's pretty much the design. So I'll just like kind of like give it a nice press, make sure that it's all ready to go. And like, I know like because these lines are super thin, if it got raised a little bit because you're taking out the negatives, just press them back down. But just like with this, with the elements, we're basically going to do it all like in one shot to like apply it onto the outline itself. But let's say, again, kind of going back to if you wanted these to be different colors, either you could do this whole layering process the same time. So you just be layering multiple vinyls together, or you can actually cut the elements separately and just put them on yourself. I feel like that could help you save a lot more vinyl if you do go that route. So with this one specifically, because I don't know about you, but when I'm working with big designs, I like to actually like do sections of the vinyl itself, because this one I have to layer on top of the outline layer right here. I'm actually going to carefully apply this vinyl or this transfer tape on top of it. So what I like to do is this. I like to actually start peeling the top part of the transfer tape, because I just feel like because it's a lot larger, it becomes a little bit more tricky to use because you kind of get a little bit tangled. But I'll go ahead and create that nice surface for myself like that. And then what I'm going to do, whichever is easiest for you, either you go from top to bottom. I like to kind of turn it to the side a little bit and line up the transfer tape to the edge. And I did cut this transfer tape a little bit bigger so I can make sure that if I were to kind of like not put it on directly, it's still going to go over the design. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and, because I started at the top part right here, all I'm going to do is now slowly peel the transfer, the backing, and just make sure that I'm smoothing out the design right here. So I hope that kind of makes sense. This is what I do typically for larger designs. If it's smaller, I won't do that, but because it's larger, oftentimes I'll create like a big air bubble in the middle, or like it won't stick on correctly and it becomes a huge mess. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my little scraper and just make sure that everything's good to go. Even though I like transfer, I don't usually have a hard time with the transfer tape. sometimes with like smaller and like their designs right here, it might have that trouble area. So you might just have to like be patient with it. And I probably do this way too many times, but I just want to make sure it's good to go with that. And, okay. And I know that we're kind of like 5 minutes until 12. Are we still okay if we go a little bit over time?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Almost done. So what I'm going to do is this. You can do two things. Either if you need to have like more of like a guide. So like there are times, especially because like the weather outside is a little bit colder, I might have some challenges with the peeling off the transfer tape. So if you stick it back onto your mat, let's go ahead and kind of like use that as a guide. You can go ahead and kind of like bend this over. It's like up to you, whichever is easiest. When I do my transfer tape, if for some reason one direction is not working for me, I'll go ahead and go in the other direction as well, because that tends to do look better. It just really is up to you. And in terms of like what works best, if you also like help the design, it comes off a lot nicer. So now with that, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move that and bring in my outline. So actually, it might be easier if I, wait 1 second. I'm gonna put this onto the mat as well, so that way it doesn't move. Especially with like a bigger design, there might be like more chances for it to like move around the table, and you don't want to risk any of that. Okay, so now with that portion, so this is the tricky part where we kind of have to like be patient with it and make sure that it lines up okay. Oh my gosh, my vinyl's like wrapping up. Okay, so with this, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure. So I need to make sure that these two squares line up. That's the reason why we did those. And my whole fear is that if I kind of like do it on so quickly, what could happen is this end part will stick on first and then it won't line up directly. So our goal is to make sure that the squares will line up perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the side because it kind of helps me have that guide. So when I line up one square, I try to see if I line up the other square and just kind of carefully apply the outline onto the, or the design onto the outline. So now it looks good. It looks like it lined up perfectly. So I'll go ahead and use that. Just kind of scrape it multiple times. But any questions about the layering vinyl so far, and also any questions about using multiple colors? I hope that part made sense of how I was explaining it. So now the fun part, just kind of peeling off the design. So again, kind of just like help yourself like using the cutting mat just to make sure that it's good to go. And again, if one were directing the same work, just kind of go in different directions. Sometimes, you know, like it's a really clean, like, you know, peel, but it also just depends on the design and how detailed it is. Sorry, it's like so much noise that I'm making. Having a hard time right now, so I promise you it's like a lot easier. I know it looks like I'm like struggling, but I promise you it's almost there. So I'm just kind of like, I just put the cutting mat to the table right now. So that way I can kind of like bend it and kind of help me with some of the vinyl corners. The reason why this one's having kind of like a hard time is just because of the outline that it has. It's like connected to multiple different elements, if that makes sense. Just gonna like help yourself. Okay, I promise you we're almost there. I usually don't have this much difficulty, so I'm so sorry that you're just watching me have a time pulling this off. I'm actually going to take off the mat and see if that helps even more. I kind of bent some vinyl, so this has never happened to me, so I'm so sorry. I'm like showing you all of it today.
It's always when like other people are watching.
I'm like, I've done this design so many times. What's happening today? But you know, I feel like, you know, yeah, it just happens. It's like sometimes either like you're having a hard time and like you have someone watch you and like you do it perfectly, or there's times where like you have someone watching you and you just can't get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the trick. I don't know if everyone's noticing, but I like how you put your hand, like you kind of like stick it underneath and then it kind of sticks. That's like the trick for peeling vinyl, I think, is you kind of just have to like maneuver.
Yeah, no, totally. Like some, like oftentimes like an easy peel, but like for some, it's actually cold today. So like the transfer tape is sticky, but it's like some elements weren't as sticky. So yeah, just kind of like being patient with it. I promise you the design will work out and it will stick on. So this is basically the overall piece. I think we're still okay on time. So when you go ahead and do this, I kind of have to like really map out exactly to make sure that it's going to fit directly onto the wood panel itself. Maybe if I want to flip it over, let's see how that would fit. Oh my gosh, that was scary. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually go put it right here. It looks like it's good to go. So I'm just kind of trying to center, like just eyeball it, my design with the wood sign right here. And then just kind of go ahead and smooth it out. And it should be ready to go in just a second. And there it is. And then you just take off this excess part right there. And also, honestly, if your transfer tape is still good to go, I would reuse it. I love reusing transfer tape because you don't need to like get new pieces every time. But yeah, there you have it with the design. So the overall goal for this was to create like a background outline with the white vinyl along with adding the design on top of it. I just feel like it would be really hard to do it individually. So that's the reason why I wanted to show you all how to layer it all together all at once. So I hope that was fun. I'm gonna go back to my face view over here and just kind of like answer any questions. But yeah, I hope you had a good time understanding the program itself and like just kind of understanding the tips and techniques on the different features. I just feel that the reason why I love using this Silhouette Studio program is because I didn't know about the offset for a long time. I used to create my own offset and that would just take a long time until I realized they had their own. It was more like, it worked out so much more better than how I was doing it. So I just like there's so many different like features on the program itself. You just kind of have to experiment and browse around it. But yeah, I feel that that was that was all I wanted to show you. If you have any specific questions about vinyl itself, feel free to reach out. My website is lettersbyshells.com. Always make sure to reach out to me if you have specific questions. I would love to answer any of them, but I'm just so excited to have you all here with me this afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to just do some vinyl fun. Again, I love to put vinyl on everything, so I'm so happy that you all were able to join me. Happy fall. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Love the designs. If you can show me your artworks and if you've been working on something, I would love to see them. Go ahead and show it in the only if you want. But thank you so much again for being here. Are there any like last minute questions that I can go ahead and do? Oh, Deanna, you're so sweet. Thank you. you would like more vinyl classes. Oh, thank you so much for all the love. And Sean, thank you so much for your sweet comment. I'm not too sure yet. If any updates happen, it will be on updating on social media. So just take a look at my Instagram at Letters by Shells. Oh, but no, I had the best time using the machine over the years and understanding like just like all the great features about it. So I just love the machine for that reason. If you want to ever message me or reach out just to talk about Silhouette, feel free to do so. But I'm so happy to have you all here. I'm looking at the questions and I don't think there's any. So I guess, Sarah, did you want to add on to anything?
I don't think so. I just shared some of the links. So just make sure to go to Silhouette Design Store, get Shelly's design for free. And then also the class will be available in the next couple days on Michael's YouTube channel. And yeah, everything that we did in class is available at Michael's. So go and get it.
Yeah, yep, awesome. Yay. Okay, so I don't want you all to go. I know I love being here and I just think it's such a beautiful time to be able to create with other people who appreciate it as well. But if we're all good to go, I'm gonna go ahead and just guess one last review. But okay, no, I think we're all set. Thank you so much again for this wonderful afternoon that you've been joining me to do vinyl and just all the fun things. I really appreciate you all. You are amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday and a good weekend. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.